What's up, guys? Kizzito. In this industry for some time now. You know, I've been with Bodybuilding.com since 2011, and we travel a lot. We do a lot of photo shoots, a lot of videos, and always having a diet down consistently for photo shoots can be a big toll on your body. So I designed this program to keep my body at peak condition all year round, and it only takes like about a week or two to get to like 5% body fat, and then you're ready for a shoot. So this around and not have to worry too much about competing or getting 16 weeks out or 14 weeks out and putting too much stress on your body. So that's why I designed this program. So let's get some questions going. I know I see a question here from Steven Garcia. He says there's a bunch of supplements for this program, and he wants to know how long does he have to keep taking every supplement, or can he cycle them off? When it comes to supplements, there's some key ones that you should always take. Multivitamins and like your flaxseed oils. Those are the key ones that I say you should always take. Why? Because you should always take your multivitamins. They just help for every part of your body. And your flaxseeds just help for your body's process of fat. Some of the other supplements in the program, yes, you can cycle them off, like creatine. Creatine back in the day there used to be a bad stigma to it. They used to say that it cakes in your liver and things like that. When I first started training, I used to take a lot of creatine, and then I heard research says you shouldn't take it. But current research says that you don't have to cycle off of creatine. If you want to, that's fine, but you don't have to cycle off of creatine. You can continue to take it throughout the entire program, throughout your entire time. You'll still see your strength stay consistent. If you stop, your strength does go down slightly. It doesn't mean that you're getting weaker. It's just that your body's not flooding enough fluid into your muscles to be able to push that much weight. So don't be afraid if you shut down on creatine and you lose some strength. You can still take it back and continue again, but you don't have to stop cycling off of it. Most of the other supplements in this program you can take them consistently. They won't have negative effects on your body. We're not taking crazy stimulants where you're spiking them up and killing your adrenals all the time. So you can take them consistently the entire time. Or if you want to choose to cycle them, that's fine. That's up to you. If you feel that you want to get that extra boost again, you can do that too. But that's when it comes to supplements. You can take them consistently. You don't have to worry about it. Okay. Next question says Nick Tibbetts here. He's 180 pounds. That's a good weight. He's struggling to consume 3,000 calories daily, and he wants to know if he switches his calorie intake, is it going to be a factor, or is timing really essential? That's a good question. I know 3,000 calories may seem a lot for what you're taking in this program, but if you see the way the workouts are designed, your body's going to need those 3,000 calories. So especially in phase one, if you're doing your morning cardio, which is about an hour long, and then you're training the way you're supposed to be training, lifting, your body's going to need those 3,000 calories. Now, if you're not able to consume them, that's fine. Later on, maybe 4 days, 5 days in, you'll start to see that your body's going to get hungrier towards the evening, which means your body's adapting to the program. It's going to start requiring more calorie intake. That's why when I have the program laid out and it says that your body needs that much calories, your body's going to eventually get used to consuming that much calories because you're going to be putting in that much work. Your body's going to be requiring that much intake. So in the beginning, it's fine if you're not consuming that much calories. You'll start to see towards the third, fourth, fifth day, you're going to start to get hungrier because your body's going to start to need more fuel to be able to push through those workouts. The beginning is fine, but later on your body's going to start to accumulate the urge for more calorie intake. Okay. Next question, Patrick Mabina. Hopefully I'm saying your names right and I'm not butchering them. I'm trying to keep them close to what I can see here. Okay. It says I seem to not be able to lose stubborn body fat on my stomach, and he wants to know. He would love to lose. He wants to get the percentage down to 8%. And he wants any tips or secrets to share. Okay. There are a couple things you can do to lose body fat. I'll give you some easy ones, Now I'll give you the hardcore ones, okay? Easy ones you can do is you can eliminate sugars from your diet. Now sugars, as to say, fast digestion carbs or high glycemic carbs, what they tend to do, if you're not using them right away, they tend to store on your omentum, which is the overlining fat over your stomach. So if you cut out sugars from your diet, immediately you'll be able to lose that body fat. There are also some foods you can take to help you lose body fat. Good foods to help you lose body fat: spinach, almonds, and increasing your fiber intake will also help you lose that stubborn body fat as well. Now, that's the simplest thing you can do on the diet and nutrition side to help you lose body fat. Now, let's go over to the workout side to help you lose some stubborn body fat. Some things you can do. You can do high-intense interval cardio. What you'll see in this program is part of phase 4, our shred phase in the program. And that's where you're doing bursts of high-intense intervals, or like you're doing 1 minute of high-intense velocity workout, and then you're coming back down for another minute. It's like a cool-down period. But let's go to the intervals second. When I say high-intense intervals, I mean when you're sprinting for 1 minute straight, at the end of that sprint, you should feel exhausted. You should feel like all your energy is spent. That's high-intense. So if you're done at that 1 minute sprint and you still feel you have more energy, you actually didn't push as far as you can. So when we say high-intense intervals, we're meaning pushing your body to the limit for 1 minute straight and bringing it back down. If you do that, back and forth, 1-2, 1-1, 1-1 ratio, you'll see that body fat cannot stay on you. You have to look at the physiques of like sprinters, Olympic sprinters. I did sprint in high school. I did track in high school, I should say, and I was a sprinter. And all we ever did was sprints. We never did distance running. I mean, we did some lifting in high school too, but all we ever did was sprints. We would just sprint down the track 100 meters, sometimes 200 meters. We'll rest and we'll sprint again, rest and sprint again. And doing that keeps your body's metabolic rate high the entire day, so you're consistently burning fat, and it helps you get rid of stubborn body fat as well. So you'll see in our phase 4 of this program, the shred phase, we do a lot of that style of workout that's going to help you target that body fat. So that's a good way to eliminate that. And start off slow in the beginning, but at one point you got to keep pushing yourself, and then you'll see that body fat will never stay on you again. All right? Next question, Alvaro Hernandez. He says there's a perpetual confusion on what exactly is a triple drop set. 3 drop sets, original, drop, 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 or 4 total sets, original, drop, drop, drop. Can you clarify? Okay. Triple drop set. What that means is within the set that we're doing, say for example, I'm doing a bent over barbell rows, and I have 315 on the bar. I start the set, I pull the bar 10 reps, I cut the weight, do more reps, and I cut the weight 1 more time, and I do more reps. That's a triple drop set. So you're dropping it 3 times within that set. Okay? So, example again, 1 more time. So if I'm doing a bent over barbell row, I have 315 on the bar. My first set I start 10 reps. Right away within that set, I cut the weight to 225, pull out some more reps, maybe 12 reps, cut the weight to 135, and I'll pull out 20 reps. Okay? That is a triple drop set. I'm dropping the weight 3 times within 1 set. So your set is not complete until you do 1, 2, 3. 3 drop sets within that set. All right? Okay, next question. Ryan, wanting to make gains in size and strength, and I'm worried a lean plan may hinder that goal. Your thoughts? Okay, good question. This program, I know it's come off as a fat loss program, but remember it's called the Chiseled program, and I designed this program not just to lose body fat, but to also make sure that my body is consistently growing and adapting every time. I can tell you a little bit. In the beginning of my in this fitness journey, this fitness career, when I joined Bodybuilding.com, whenever we had like photo shoots, I would cut down my carbs and I would do excessive cardio, just to get shredded for photo shoots. And it was great because you always get lean, you always look good. But what I couldn't stand mentally was when I got back to the gym, I couldn't. I hated losing that strength aspect, because when I started working out, when we all joined this fitness industry, we did it because we love working out. We love to see the progress. So I had to find a way to continue to get stronger, but still maintain low body fat. And that's why I designed this program. That's why you see these phases of this program the way we have it worked out is that you're constantly building muscle. When you're constantly building muscle, you're constantly strong, you're constantly getting stronger, fat can never hold on to you. So yeah, you're going to be losing fat, but the entire time in this program, you're going to constantly be growing, you're going to be constantly getting stronger. So you're not going to have to worry about losing quote-unquote gains. Okay? The only thing you're going to be losing is body fat, but you're going to be accumulating so much more strength, you're going to be accumulating so much more muscle in this program. So you're not going to have to worry about that in this program, all right? Good question. Next question, Forrest Redding. He says, what exercise do you consider so essential that it must be done regularly to maintain muscle strength and toned abs? All right, that's a good question. When I first started doing abs, all I ever did was after every workout, I would go to the ab crunch machine, and I would just do as many crunches as I could and put the weight as much as I could. Because my thought was abs are just like any other muscle, because they are. If I train them heavy and I train them hard, they get stronger, they get thicker, they get denser, just like any other muscle. Simple fact. So the best exercise to do to give them the strength and to give them that toneness, I say, is to do the ab crunchers, the seated ab crunchers. You'll see that when you do that, it starts to get that 3D effect ab, that you'll have them no matter what. They always look photo shoot ready. Even if you don't do them for a while, they'll tend to stay there the entire time. Now, another tip for you as well when it comes to abs, if you're getting ready for a photo shoot or you're getting ready for a competition, or if you're just going to hang out at the beach and you want to show off your body, what you don't want to do is do any ab workout like 3 days before, because if you do train abs while you're training abs, they tend to get swell up because there are muscles, so they'll swell up too. So if you want them to look tight, you want them to look chiseled, don't train them like 3 days before a photo shoot or 3 days before competition or 3 days before you go out, because that gives them time to relax and that gives them that extra tightness and that leanness, that lean look that you want too. So that's a good tip for you to have as well, all right? Another question, next question. He said, I noticed in this program it calls for pretty high intake of carbs. 200 grams may seem a little high for me. Can you elaborate more? Okay. Okay, this is a good question, and I get this question a lot. The carbs in this program, like I said, they're basically used to fuel your workouts, and that's it. So we're not trying to do too many excessive carbs. Now, when it says 200 grams of carbs, if you look down and we break it down into the carb aspect of it, you're not just doing 200 grams of carbs where it's just like 200 grams of sweet potatoes, or 200 grams of brown rice, or 200 grams of oatmeal. The way I do my carb intake is 200 grams of carbs, okay? Between 50 grams and 75 grams of them are going to be higher glycemic for my entire day. And the rest of it is going to be high fibrous, which means veggies, tons and tons of veggies in this program. So in the morning, say for example a basic meal, you have like 50 grams of carbs in the morning. 30 grams of that for me would probably be oats, okay? And then the rest of it will be like spinach or broccoli or things like that. And then even at lunchtime too, if I have to do 60 grams of carbs at lunchtime, only about 30 grams of that will be either brown rice or sweet potatoes. The rest of that will be veggies and things like that too. So when it comes to carbs, there's still breakdowns of parts of it that you have to focus on too. I don't like to take too much high glycemic carbs, only in the morning or before and after my workout. That's it. The rest of it is all veggies, and you have to count veggies as carbs. You have to count veggies as part of your macronutrient. A lot of times people see that and they just throw it out the window, but they are a part of your macronutrients, and they are essential to your gains as well. So even if 200 grams of carbs are high, you're not taking in 200 grams of like high glycemic carbs. Maybe half of that is going to be high glycemic carbs, and you're putting them around your workout so they're efficient for your training. All right? Okay, next question. Tay-O, it says, what about cheat meals? How often can I have one, if ever? Is a high-carb day not part of this program? Also, how can I use this program for building muscle during the off-season? So far, I love the program. I'm glad you love the program, Tay-O. As you can see, if you've been doing this program for about 2 weeks so far, you can see how you can gain muscle by doing this program, because we're not doing lightweight or anything that we're still doing heavy volume training. We're pushing your body to the max. So that's the way you can build muscle on it. But let me go back to the first question where it talks about cheat meals. I'm a person that doesn't really romanticize about food. You know, you won't catch me like on Instagram or my Facebook page posting pictures about crazy pizzas or donuts or things like that. It's just not part of who I am. That being said, it doesn't mean that you shouldn't be able to enjoy your life. Now, here's the thing that I've always said when it comes to fitness. If you're not going to be able to do something for the rest of your life, you shouldn't do it right now. So cheat meals are essential, but you shouldn't call them cheat meals, because when you call them cheat meals, you feel that you're doing something that's detrimental to your aspect. Cheat meals are not detrimental to your aspect. They're actually a necessity for your entire life. So what you can do with this program is, if you need to have a cheat meal, if you feel that you need to have a cheat meal, is you see what your carb intake is for the entire week, and then you start to restrict them in the beginning, maybe Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and then Saturday, if you feel like you have to go out with your friends or anything like that, you can increase your carb intake for that day for one meal only. Not the entire day, I shouldn't say that, but for one meal. That way you can feel that you're not missing out on anything too as well. A lot of times what happens to people, especially in the fitness industry, is that they restrict themselves for so long. Like they'll diet for 9 months, they'll compete over and over and over and over and over again without ever having a cheat meal, that when they introduce those carbs back into their system, two things happens. First, your body starts producing the required enzymes to break down those carbohydrates, so it doesn't know how to break them down, so it holds on to them. And second, you rebound a lot harder because you're restricting yourself for so long. Restricting yourself for so long is actually really bad for you. And in this program, you can have your cheat meals. You just have to make sure you plan them out the right way. You see what your caloric intake is for the entire week, especially when it comes to carbohydrates, because that's usually where people cheat the most. And you taper off your carbs either in the beginning of the week, and then you bookend them off at the end, almost like carb cycling. That's really the way I do my my diet too. Is that I'll do my carbs actually in the beginning of the week. I'll do higher carbs in the beginning of the week, so I have energy to push throughout my entire workout. And towards the end of the week, I take less carbs. I just do this the way I do it too. But every once in a while, I'll have a slice of pizza, or I have Pop-Tarts here or there. It's not going to mess me up because I'm training efficiently. As long as my diet is 90% great, it's not going to be a hindrance to me at all. It's actually going to be beneficial to me. Okay. All right. Next question. Keith Greenblatt, hopefully I said that name right, is what is the best sit for size, or actually best set for size, I think that's what he says, each body part once a week or twice a week? Thanks. All right. It depends on you. It depends on how you're training. It depends on how much you recover. When I first started working out, I used to just train 3 times a day. It was a chest day, a back day, and a leg day, and then occasionally cardio. But as you progress, as your body gets stronger, as you adapt, your body's it's gonna require a lot more for your body to grow. So then I started to add an arm day, then I added a shoulder day. So now I train one body part a day, and I train every single day, no rest days at all. And it's okay to train that way, because if I train one body part a day, say for example I train chest on Monday, 5 days later is my next chest day, so it has enough time. I have enough time for my body to recover and enough time for my body to rest until I hit it again. So it depends on what you want. I think you can train a body part 2 times a day if you want. There are certain body parts that recover a lot faster depending on you. For example, like shoulders. Shoulders tend to be slow twitch muscle fibers, so they recover a lot faster. So you can kind of train them every day because they heal faster. Same thing with abs. You can train them all the time and they recover and they grow faster. Also, some people, quads, they grow a lot faster. My quads they grow faster because I used to be a sprinter, and it helps to develop a lot faster too. So I can train legs every single day and they'll grow faster. So I have to limit them to make sure they stay proportionate. So it depends on what you do, but I recommend you could train a muscle group twice a day without having to hindrance them at all. But as long as you space them out enough where you're resting and you have enough time to recover. Okay. Another question. If I have a miss a day at work emergency, this is from Derek Fair, by the way. He misses a day at work. Should I just push my program back a day? Also, is it okay to get my beta-alanine increasing from pre-workout? Thanks. All right, that's a good question. So what he's saying is that if he just can't find the time to get to the gym, is it okay for him to push the program back a day? Yeah, I mean, we all go through things in our lives. You know, we can't predict what happens throughout the day. We can't control every circumstance. The only thing we can control is how we react to them. So what I recommend you doing is that if you can't make it to the gym that one day because it's an emergency, yeah, just push the day back once, or get what you can in at least. I mean, if you can find like a 20-minute time to do like the cardio session, just get to the gym and do the cardio session. At least you've done something that day. But when it comes to the weight training, I know it can be a little hard because they're a little bit harder to push. Just push that back to the end of the day, and just focus on trying to get something done that day. As long as you do something a little bit, just do a little bit that day, you're better off than doing nothing. I would never recommend you not doing anything at all, no matter what, because even if you have an emergency, if there's a problem, getting to the gym is usually like a stress relief. If you have a crazy day, you get to the gym, you can control what happens there, you know? I mean, I've had days where I have my own gym. I run my own gym too. There's days where things are crazy, it gets hectic, I'm running around, and I can't even find time to work out. But once I'm in the gym, I know I can control what happens there. I know I can control the weights. I know I can control the sets. I know I can control the reps. So at that part of my life is control, so it's actually beneficial for me to get there. So even if you have emergencies, if you have to push it back, but try to get to the gym at least to do something. Something is always better than nothing, okay? Okay, next question from Jose Garcia. He says, if my BCAAs have beta-alanine in them, pre-servings, does that take care of both, or should I just take it separately? Okay, what he's pretty much saying is that if he has a BCAA or a supplement that has the beta-alanine in it, does he have to take them separately? No, you don't have to take them separately. I mean, that's ridiculous. Why would you just take two things separately? But here's the thing, you have to be prepared. You have to just know what time to take them. If your BCAAs have beta-alanine in them, the best time to take them are right before your workout. I mean, like right before. As soon as you get into the gym, you sip on them right away, because you have to beat the beta-alanine is going to kick in right away, and the BCAAs are going to start to kick in while you're working out. So even if they have them both in one supplement, it's okay to take them. You don't have to take them separately. Just make sure you time them the right way. So if you have a product that does that, where you have the beta-alanine and the BCAAs in one, you should take them as soon as you get to the gym, not 30 minutes before, as soon as you get to the gym, because that's probably the best effective time for you to take that supplement, okay? Next question, this is from Hasnan Bilgrani. Hopefully I said that name right, too. How much weight can you expect to lose in 8 weeks? I'm 5'6", 157 pounds, with about 18% body fat. Okay, and this is a good question, and it's really depending on a couple things, Hasnan. It depends on what your current metabolic capacity is at this stage versus how much energy you put into this program. And what I mean by, first, let's talk about metabolic capacity. Metabolic capacity is your body's capacity to burn off its carbohydrates, or burn off the energy that it has, I should say. So say, for example, right now you're used to taking in 500 grams of carbohydrates, and your body sustains its current weight at that. You have a high metabolic capacity. So once we start to cut out those carbohydrates, so once we bring that 500 grams down to about 200 grams, your body is not used to taking in 200 grams, so your body can lose a lot more fat at 200 grams, so at 200 grams of carbs, so you can actually lose a lot more. For some people who are used to consuming already about 150 grams of carbs naturally, and they're maintaining their body weight, it's going to be a lot harder for them to lose body fat efficiently right away in this program, unless they increase their metabolic capacity. A person that is used to taking 150 grams of carbs in this program, in order for them to burn body fat efficiently, what they're going to need to do is they're going to need to focus more on the cardio and the fat burning aspect of this program a lot more, because their metabolic capacity is a lot lower. Someone like you, 80% body fat, I'm guessing that you're probably used to taking about 300 to 350 grams of carbs, so you have a high metabolic capacity anyway. So you'll be able to lose, you'll probably get down to about 12 to 10% body fat in this program if you're doing it efficient in the right way, all right? Okay, next program, again from Derek Fair. Derek Fair is busting out the questions. I like it. He says, on shoulder day, I submitted battle ropes with the same motion. but holding 10-pound dumbbells because my gym doesn't have them. Is that okay? Okay. Yeah, it's okay. I mean, not every gym has battle ropes, and it's just a battle ropes is just an extra tool for people to have. If you don't have them, that's fine. But what he did was he just supplemented the 10-pound dumbbells for battle ropes, which is good. In this program, if there's exercise or machine that's not in your gym, it's okay to create a new one. Most of the exercises that I've created were because I was at a gym and they didn't have a machine that I want. You know, they say that necessity is the mother of invention. So if you can't find a machine that's part of this program, it's okay to adjust it and make it work for you. Okay, just make the program, make the exercise work for you. All right. Okay. Next question. It says, can I do my cardio and abs immediately after my workout? Of course you can. If you find that you can't get to the gym 2 times a day, you can do your cardio and your abs immediately after your workout if you have time to do it. The reason I broke out the program like that is because it's a lot easier for you to separate cardio and weight training. For example, I don't want you to have to think about looking left and right at the same time. So when you have cardio at one portion of your day and then weight training at the other portion of your day, it's easier to separate that and still adjust it. So, but if you can't make it twice a day, it's okay to do your cardio and your ab workout after you're lifting. Just know that you're going to be there for a long period of time. Okay. Next question from Matthew Barlow. He says, I notice you take protein before your workout. Do you do any post-protein drinks after? And do you do casein protein? Good question, Matthew. This I'm going to answer this. I'm going to end this. Okay, whenever I answer questions, I answer everything candidly and honestly. So when it comes to post-workout protein supplementation, that is not as necessary as you think. Okay, the most essential part post-workout is getting in your carbs and your BCAAs. And I'll explain a little bit why too. But post-workout, what I like to do is I like to always eat real food, and it's always better for you to eat real food. Okay, and there's new research out there that shows that immediately after your workout, it's actually detrimental for you to consume a fast-absorbing protein like a whey, because your body is still in that anabolic phase and breakdown phase, so it's not actually being able to process that protein at that point. So what it is better for you to do is after your workout is you have your BCAAs, because your BCAAs are going to prime your body for nutrient absorption, and then 30 minutes, 40 minutes after your workout, you go and you eat your real food. Okay. Now, still staying with the same question. You asked me, do I take casein protein or anything like that too? Whey protein, casein protein, I know they're marketed as one is fast and one is slow, but when you're comparing whey protein to casein protein, that's like comparing a skateboard to rollerblades, because they're both pretty slow. Okay, I'll be honest, they're both pretty slow. There's not that much difference when it comes to nutrient absorption. But when it comes to protein, the fastest one out there are BCAAs. Aminos, that's like comparing a bicycle to a Ferrari. Aminos are lightning fast. That's why it's better to prime your body with aminos. Fill your body with aminos. That way when you eat nutrients, when you start to eat your regular meals, your body's primed for nutrient absorption. So when it comes to post-workout, the main thing I like to focus on is my BCAAs. I like to eat real food post-workout. That's why I have this program designed so you're not just consistently accumulating supplements. Eat real food. Eat real food is always going to be better for you. Okay. Next question is from Palos. I can't say your last name. I'm just going to say Palos. I'm sorry in advance. Okay. It says, I use next day soreness and muscle fatigue as a sign that my muscles have been worked as well. Do you really have to keep changing at regular times, or is it a general sign? Okay. What he's pretty much saying is that he can gauge how well he worked out based on how sore he was the next day, and he wants to know if do you have to consistently change your programs all the time to feel that soreness. That's a good question. In the beginning of any program, we all know, the beginning of any workout, there's always going to be DOMS, delayed onset muscle soreness. We all have that. But what happens is as you progress and as you get stronger, your body starts to become accumulated to the workout, and you no longer feel sore. And when that soreness goes away, sometimes people assume that they're no longer achieving, they're no longer growing, they're no longer progressing, they're no longer achieving gains. But that's not true. What's just happened is that your body's just used to feeling pain. I've been doing martial arts for a long period of time. I studied Krav Maga, and one of the things in Krav Maga that we're taught to do first in the beginning is we have to learn how to take pain. So we do a lot of conditioning drills where we're taught to get punched in the stomach, get kicked in the leg, and what that does is it's just priming our body for that pain, so that when we feel pain, we no longer flinch, we no longer subside, we no longer get scared of it. That's the same thing your body does when it comes to working out. In the beginning, when you're working out, your body is feels that soreness and you feel that tension. But when you continue to do it over and over again, your mind and your body gets used to that soreness. So it's no longer there. That stimulus is no longer there. It doesn't mean it's not working. It doesn't mean it's not taking effect. It just means that the body is used to that soreness. Used to that. You'll see the way the workouts are set up that you won't get sore maybe 4 months into the program later on, but you will get your muscles will start to spaz and start to tighten up after the workouts because you start to be pushing your body to the limit during the workout. That's where you should focus more on the soreness and the pain. Focus on pushing your body to the limit during the workout. No, don't worry about the day after pains. Worry about the workout there. Worry about the set. Worry about the reps. Worry about feeling that tension every single set, every single rep. All right. Okay. Next question is from Keith Greenbelt. He says, "What nutrients are necessary for a post-workout drink?" I think I kind of answered this question before, but I'll elaborate a little bit more when it comes to post-workout drinks. Let's say, for example, if you don't have enough time to get home to eat a healthy meal, which is like I said, I always recommend. Nutrients that are essential for post-workout. Obviously, you're going to need your protein, right? You just have to have your protein. You're going to need your high glycemic carbs. That means your carbs are broken down easily. And the reason why you need that is because your body's going to be primed for ATP and production and repair and recovery. So make sure you have your protein. Make sure you have your high glycemic carbs. Also, you want to make sure that you have your, like I said before, your BCAAs, your aminos. That's always essential. You should always have your body primed for that. Other than that, I think those are the two main things that I like to focus on post-workout is just having protein and having my carbs as well, okay? The three things I'll give you something else. The three things for best muscle recovery are carbs and aminos, no matter what. If you want to recover fast, carbs and aminos are the way to go. All right. Next question from Derek Fair. He says, on leg day, there is no specific calf workout. Is that because you are working your calves during running? Hell yeah, that is why. Hell yeah, that is why there is no calf workout in this program. Okay. I've been like I said, I've been an athlete my entire life, and especially when it comes to the cardio in this program, you'll see like in phase 2 and phase 3, you switch the style of cardio to become more like athletic performance. So I give you a choice to either play basketball, play soccer, play active sports. So when you're doing that, you're doing your plyometrics, you're doing your calf tension. So I'm trying to make sure that you don't tear your calves. 2 years ago, I play basketball a lot. I play a lot of basketball with my friends and stuff like that too. So I was going back to my calf training, but I was still playing basketball. I played basketball for like 2 hours, 3 hours a day. And in the middle of the basketball game, my calf just went pop. And I think I knew what it was. It was because I was training calves religiously for like a month and still playing basketball. And I kept on putting more tension on my calves too. So the reason I don't have calves in this program is because I don't want to overload that part of your body. However, if you feel that your calves are lacking, it's okay to throw them in at the end of your program because, like I said, this is your body. It's not my body. This is your body. So if you feel there's a body part that you want to focus on, go ahead and throw that into your program, into your cycle. But I just didn't put it in this program because when it comes to running and the cardio factor, I don't want to put too much tension on and stress on that muscle and have you have potential injuries, okay? All right, next question from Ben Story. What if you work out fasted for post-protein, or do you not recommend working out fasted? Just add this, the protein, more important. Okay, good question. Fasted cardio, I do fasted cardio, but I shouldn't really consider it fasted because I do take like my BCAAs before my cardio, and BCAAs are help to release insulin, so you're not really doing them fasted, and they also help protect muscle too as well. But he wants to know if do you take post-protein after your cardio? Well, I mean, if you're doing fasted cardio, obviously you're going to be eating right after, because hopefully you're doing fast cardio in the morning, so you're going to be eating your breakfast right away after that. So yeah, right after you do your fasted cardio, it's okay to do your protein and then do your carbs as well, because you haven't eaten anything as well. But the only time you should do fasted cardio is if it's steady state. It's hard to sprint and do cardio. Obviously, you should always have energy when you're doing sprints. Period. But the only time you should do fasted cardio is when you're doing steady state cardio. Okay. Another question: should I enter my current weight or my goal weight for my macros? Good question. Good question. You should definitely enter your goal weight. All right. You should definitely enter your goal weight. However, you have to be very subjective, because if you weigh 300 pounds and your ideal weight is to be, let's say, 180, or even something, yeah, about 180, you have to know that when you put that into the macronutrient calculator, that it's going to be your calories are going to be drastically cut. And when it cut that drastic, you're not going to be your body's, it's going to be take a while before you're used to that deficit. So if you're going to do an ideal weight, make sure it's subjective, and make sure it's practical for you to do. Make sure it's something that you know that you've had before, and you can sustain and you can have for a long period of time. Because like I said, this program is not just designed for you to do it for 8 weeks and then you're done. It's designed for you to do it continually over and over and over and over and over and over again. Some people in this program may have a lower weight, and then at the end of this program they'll gain weight, but they're still chiseled. They're still chiseled. So next time they do the program, they probably have to increase their calories. For me, every year I'm slowly increasing my calories. I can't believe how much I'm eating now versus what I was eating 2 years ago. You know, some people who've seen me before, they've known that I've done the I still kind of do it too every once in a while, the intermittent fasting diet, where I eat like 2 meals a day or 1 meal a day. I've been doing that. I was doing that 2 years ago when I was doing 1 meal. Then last year it was 2 meals. Now this year I'm back to regular 3 meals. And that's just because my body keeps adding more muscle mass slowly, and I'm requiring more calories. So if you're lighter weight in this program, you're going to see that you're going to get stronger by still staying lean. Your body's going to increase your calories. If you're starting at a higher body fat percentage, your body fat's going to go down, and then at one point it's probably going to go back up, because you're going to be putting on lean muscle mass too, and your calories are going to be changing. So just know that your calories are going to be changing throughout your life in this program, okay? Next question. This is from Alvaro Hernandez. He says, for supersets, my gym is always crowded. I know, I hate those gyms. That's why I have my own now. And sometimes it's hard to jump from biceps, barbells, to tricep cables. People keep jumping on my machines. People always trying to steal your gains. Those are called gain vampires. I hate those people. He says, what do you recommend? Can I do biceps, then triceps, or change one of them or move to something else? Okay. The great thing about this program is that the workouts are outlined for you ahead of time. So when you go to the gym, it's like you're going into the battlefield already with a game plan. So you need to already mentally prepare yourself for what workouts need to be done. I know there's tons of gyms. Gyms are crowded. That's a good thing that gyms are crowded. Gyms are crowded. That means that people are trying to hopefully better themselves instead of taking selfies in the gym. You know, maybe that's what they're doing, but who cares? But if the gym is crowded, you just have to strategize a little bit. You see the machines that you need, and then if the machines are occupied, all you do is you go to the next workout and then wait for that machine to open up, and then you go back to that exercise. I wouldn't recommend switching the program too much just to accommodate what everyone else is doing, because if you keep doing that, what you're doing is you're slowing down your growth because everyone else is holding you back. Don't let anyone hold you back. Get to the gym. Plan out your workouts, plan out your outline, see which machines are free at the moment, do that exercise, wait when that machine opens up, go to the machine right away, set up your stations right away. If you want, take 30 gym bags, be that guy that everyone hates. I'm that guy in the gym. I take all my gym equipment, I put stations everywhere, even if I'm not using machine, okay? I'm doing chest today. I'm going to put my bag on the squat rack because I'm using squats sometime this week, okay? But I'm just saying, just plan out your workouts, plan out your strategies, and just find a way to make it work, okay? Next question from Faison. He says he's 185 pounds and 5'8". He wants to lose fat. He wants to know, will this program help me with his current body fat at 26%? I think we touched base. Someone asked this question kind of before too, and we discussed it a little bit earlier. And it's the same thing. Like I said, at 26% body fat, I'm sure your body is starting at a very high metabolic capacity, and especially in phase 1, phase 2 of this program, you're going to see body fat peeling off of you right away, because, like I said, you're starting at a high metabolic capacity, 185 pounds. You're going to be at this. In phase 1, you're probably going to be doing 220 grams of protein, 200 grams of carbs, and I don't know, 60 grams of fats in this program. The cardio that we're doing here, you're going to be probably get down. Yeah, you're going to be losing fat really quickly in this program at this rate, so you won't have to worry about it, especially when it comes to phase 4 of this program, where it's called the shred phase. You'll be consistently burning fat. And another thing, Faison, in this program is that at the end of the 8 weeks, what I recommend for someone at 26% body fat is start it again, because your body's gonna change at that point, and then once you get into the program again, your body's gonna keep adapting. Remember, this program, like I said, is the way I live my life. Is the way I train all year round. It's consistently changing. The program, the phases are consistently changing, so my body's not getting used to it, but my body's getting stronger, growing every single time. So in this Chisel program, this is for everyone too. In this Chisel program, don't think of this as an 8-week program. Think of this as a life program. It changes every 2 weeks, yes, and then once it stops at the 8th week, you can start it again, and you can still see greater results every single time. Every single time. Like I said, I didn't want to design a program where you're going to do it for a short period of time and then you're done. Because if you're not going to do it for the rest of your life, you shouldn't be doing it now. This program is designed for you to fit into your life all the time, That's why the phases are so short, where you're doing cardio every day for only 2 weeks, and then it goes down to cardio every other day. Then it goes out to cardio once a week. You know what I mean? It keeps changing, so you can adapt, you can accommodate it, so it fits your lifestyle, no matter where you are. Okay. All right, next question. It says here, it's from Derek Fair. He says, I struggle with burning a lot of chest fat. I know you can't spot burn fat. However, I think it may be because I don't build chest. There you go. Chest on my muscle on my chest, I should say. Is working chest once a week going to help me with this program? Thanks for all your great information. All right, in this program, the chest is not really once a week. It's kind of like every 5 days. Here's the thing when it comes to quote-unquote spot triggering body fat. The best way to spot trigger body fat is to build more fucking muscle on it, okay? And it just goes back to the old age tale that you can't mold fat. You can only shape and build muscle. So when it comes to your chest days, Derek, what you need to do is focus a lot, bringing that muscle-mind connection on every exercise, on every rep, on every push-pull, on contracting that chest muscle. Focus on actually stretching out those muscle fibers. Even in this program, you'll see the way the exercises are aligned, the workouts are aligned to help you target each muscle group. Every time we target those muscle groups, we're going to be building more muscle on them, which is going to eliminate more excess body fat. So yeah, maybe you have high body fat on your chest right now, but if you continue to train chest the way you're training in this program, your body fat will disappear. You'll start to get those crazy hope lines like that one video. I'll probably post that video on Instagram later on today. Crazy hope lines in your chest because you're building more muscle fiber, and the muscle fiber is going to be taking over those that body fat, okay? Good question, though. Next question is from Dion. He says, you list 100 push-ups. I did. And 50 pull-ups as warm-ups. I did. Can this be broken down, or should you drop to your knees and beg the Lord of Gains for forgiveness? What do you mean? He said drop to your knees for assisted pull-ups when you reach failure. I've always heard that you shouldn't reach failure in a warm-up. Hard not to with 100 push-ups. Okay. Um, this is a good question. Now, I'm a little, when it comes to fitness, like when it comes to fitness and being a fitness model, the number one thing you have to be, like I always say, is you have to be fit. Fit. You must be fit. You must be fit. So, yes, 100 push-ups may seem a lot. 50 pull-ups may seem a lot in the beginning, but your body will get used to them, and you can break them up. You can do 10 sets of 10 or whatever, or things like that. 10 sets of 10 or 5 sets of 5 pull-ups, whatever you can do. Or if you have to go to your knees to do push-ups, do that towards the end. I wouldn't recommend it, but yeah, push past it. But the bigger question he asked here is he's heard that you should never go to failure in a warm-up. I think that maybe that was the case when you first started, maybe when you were like in, I don't know, middle school, high school, but failure is your friend. I mean, you must reach failure every single portion of your life. Without failure, you won't enjoy your success. You know what I mean? You won't understand, you won't appreciate it a lot more. So, yeah, for every workout, I like to reach failure right away in the workout, because once I reach failure, I know I've pushed my body to a limit, to a wall. I've pushed it to a point where it cannot go anymore. So now when I start my workout, every set, every rep, I'm banging on that wall, trying to break through it. Okay? The only way you can have a breakthrough in life is you have to hit a wall first. So get to that wall immediately in the beginning of your workout, and then fight to push past it, push past it. There was a question on here earlier that a guy said, how do you break plateaus? And it's the same thing that we say when it comes to failure. Plateau is great. A plateau shows you that your body has gone to a point where it feels like it can't go anymore. That's good. Now it's time for you to test your body and see what it's really made of. So I always try to reach failure in the beginning of the workout as early as I can in the workout, and then continue to fight more, forcing my body to recruit more muscle fibers, forcing my body to expand, forcing my body to grow. And that's the only way that you can continue to have strength goals. That's the only way you continue to lose body fat and continue to see progress in this program and in your life as well, okay? Next question from Palos again. He wants to know is, what's your idea on carb cycling? And what should a bulking diet consist of in order to achieve max gains, but avoid that extra fat accumulation, keeping 150 grams daily intake? Okay. So he just wants to know basically, first of all, like I do carb cycling. There's a lot of terms out in the fitness industry that have been out for, or they're coming out a lot more, and I never knew what the terms were. Like the first time I heard of carb cycling, someone told me about it. I was like, I do that all the time. Someone told me about intermittent fasting. I was like, I do that. I've been doing that my entire life. But carb cycling is it's just a natural part of it, natural part of your diet, natural part of my diet, and I like it too. Like I said, what I do is I tend to do my carbs higher in the beginning of the week, and I start to taper them off towards the end of the week. And the reason I do that is so I have a lot more energy in the beginning of the week to push through my workouts. And towards the end of the week is usually if I have to like go to the beach or something like that, it's a night out, I can taper them off and I have to worry about too much energy. But you can cycle them any which way you want too. So, but when it comes to bulking diets, I've never done a bulking diet, but if you see like in this program, the way it's designed is that phase 1 and phase 2, actually phase 1 you have your higher carbs, and then when it comes to phase 2, we're decreasing your calories in the form of carbs, but still keep your protein high. And in phase 3, we're cutting your carbs again, and phase 4, we're cutting your carbs again. So in this program, you're consistently starting with higher carbs, and then you're slowly tapering them off the entire time. And that's kind of like a bulking diet. It's almost like you're doing a mini bulking diet. And that's why you're able to continue to grow muscle but stay chiseled all year round. And that's why I do it this way. So that's why at the end of this program, 8 weeks, you can start the program again, you increase your carbs again, and then you slowly start to taper them off every single time. 8 weeks mark, 8 weeks reach again, you start the program again, higher carbs, slowly taper them off. I think that is the best way to quote-unquote do a bulking diet, because you're not doing it for months and months and months on end. You're only doing it for about 2 weeks where you're increasing your calories, getting that hypertrophy in, you're building muscles, slowly tapering them off, and then boom, back again. That's like consistent gains. That's like gains every 2 months. It's gains on gains on gains. I mean, why wouldn't you want to do that? And then you're staying shredded all the time, you know? It's like the easiest way to do it instead of consistently thinking months on months where you're doing overly broken diet. So this program is designed for you to keep that muscle building and consistently burn fat, okay? Good question. Question, I'm not losing weight, help me, I wish you could. Her name is Rena, and she says super sexy. Oh, thank you, I appreciate it. Rena El Dari. So she wants to know basically how she can lose weight in this program. And it's, I mean, if you see the program, like I said, the way the program is designed for you to lose weight because we taper them off no matter what. So, okay, here's a good thing this is for everyone too on this program. Phase 4 of this program, the shred phase, is like a crucial time. Phase 4 of the program is the phase that I designed, like when I'm trying to get ready for photo shoots or when I'm trying to get ready for video shoots and things like that, because it's only about a week long and it's high intense. And all you have to do is give it all you've got for one solid, strong week. You're doing double cardio, intervals and steady state, still lifting strong, still lifting heavy, but you're doing it for one strong, solid week. You do that for one solid week, and you'll go from, that's how I go from 7% body fat to 6% body fat to 5% body fat within a week because of the way this program is designed. So phase 4 of this program, for those of you who are competitors or for those of you who are fitness models or for those of you who are going to get ready for a photo shoot, phase 4 of this program is that phase, that crucial phase that you want to look at, and that's the phase that you can do no matter what time of year you're in. So say, for example, you get a phone call from a magazine company and they say they want to shoot you 2 weeks from now. Okay, no matter what program, no matter what phase you are in this program, you should go right away to phase 4 and do that for one solid week. That will help you burn excess body fat right away, really quickly, so you get ready for a photo shoot quickly too. So remember that, everyone. Phase 4 is that crucial photo shoot physique stage that you want to get ready and get there really quickly too. Okay. Okay. Next question. Nisudu, he asked if he can have a cheat meal. I answered that before, and like I said, when it comes to cheat meals, you have to just make sure you plan them out a lot more. You don't want to just go out there and have your cheat meal right away. You want to see what the program is, see how much carbs you're supposed to be taking in for the entire program, and then balance it out. If you know you want to have a cheat meal like on Saturday or Sunday, you cut out your carbs for the entire week, and then you just bookend them at the end of the day, so you're not messing up your entire program. You're still getting the amount of calories you need. You're still getting the amount of macronutrients that you need. And you're not losing out on it. But before we get into cheat meals, the only time you should think about even having a cheat meal is if you've reached a physique where you feel that you're ready to have one. Okay, if you're a person that's just working out and you're just starting this whole new program, I'm not going to recommend a cheat meal for you anywhere in this program at all. I mean, the meals in this program, I mean, you're not restricting your meals ridiculously where you're just eating brown rice, chicken, and fish. I mean, that's ridiculous. You're still having good meals and still having good foods. So I wouldn't even recommend a cheat meal in this program for you until maybe towards the end of the program, at the 8-week mark, where you're going to start the program again. You can have a cheat meal and start the program again. I mean, it's only 8 weeks, but you should only think about cheat meals if you really feel that you're tightening down and shredding down. Sometimes I'll have my cheat meal or my quote-unquote refeed meal if I'm refeed meal when I feel like I'm flatter or my muscles are not as full. Then I can have it because I know that it's going to go back to growth and repair. So yeah, you can have a cheat meal. Make sure you bookend them, but you shouldn't even be thinking about cheat meals unless you've reached a point where your body is actually going to absorb that and use it for the benefit of your body, benefit of your growth. Okay. Next question from Derek Fair. He wants to know, when I supplement caffeine, I normally just drink some black tea. That's good. About 30 minutes before cardio. The package says it's about 70 grams of caffeine. I milligrams? Wow, 70 grams. Is that enough? I don't get super hyped, but Still feel I need more awake. Well, I mean, it's black tea. The caffeine in tea is good. I mean, I would recommend you. I know you probably don't. I don't know if you drink coffee. I didn't drink coffee for years until I heard the health benefits of it. So a cup of coffee would probably be better than black tea for your caffeine. As you say, you need more energy or something like that. Maybe just take your caffeine with aminos. But if you need a little bit more awake, I mean, it's morning time. I'm a morning person. I remember when I used to live with my back home with my sisters growing up, I would wake up singing. That's just who I am. I'm a morning person no matter what. But if you need more energy, I think 70 grams, I don't know if that's the right number, 70 grams, maybe it's milligrams, but maybe you need a little bit more than that. Try drinking black coffee, maybe sipping on black coffee. That'll give you more energy. Or if you want, take a higher stimulant, fat burner out there. They'll probably spike it up a little bit more. You can do that too as well. So, all right. Next question from Jamie Egglestone. I'm sorry. What do you think about intra-workout protein shakes? Are they helping or hurting? Intra-workout protein shakes? Are you mean when you say this? I'm thinking you mean like a whey and casein protein that you take in between, or are you talking about BCAAs intra-workouts? Because there are BCAAs intra-workouts. Let's separate those. There are protein shakes, and then there's BCAAs. So when you're talking about intra-workout shake, hopefully hopefully you're talking about BCAAs, because BCAAs are good. You should always take BCAAs during your workout because they're going to prime your body for nutrient absorption. Whey protein or anything like that while you're working out, I don't recommend that. And you ever see those sayings where it says squat till you puke, or things like that, where people work out so hard that they puke? And I'll tell you the science behind that. The reason people puke while they're working out is because when you're lifting or you're exercising and you're doing strenuous workouts, your body is trying to create more muscle function. It's trying to function a lot more. So when you have food inside your stomach, your body's also trying to digest it too. Your body can't do two things at once. It can't try to create muscle function and break down nutrients at the same time. So what it does, it spews out the food inside your stomach so it can lift efficiently. So I would never recommend an intra-workout protein shake. That's why I even say you have to eat like an hour before so your body can process it a little bit. I would just recommend you just taking regular BCAAs, because if you're taking a protein shake while you're working out, your body's still going to try to break that down and still try to create muscle function, so that's not going to be that good for you. So BCAAs are better because they're primed for absorption. So stay away from protein shakes. Stick to your BCAAs, okay? Next question. What is the progression? This is from Chad Rowland. What is the progression to gain the strength needed to perform a handstand push-up? That's a good question. It's a good question, Chad. Handstand push-ups, they may seem difficult in the beginning. First, I'm a little different when it comes to like handstand push-ups, muscle-ups, and all that stuff. When I see something, I can do it right away. That's just the way I've always been. So I can see a handstand push-up, and I can do it right away. Some people, it takes a little bit more time. But when it comes to handstand push-ups, you have to focus a lot on your overhead presses and your bench presses, more incline benching than flat bench, because when you do incline, it focuses more on your front delts. You're pressing forward too. So overhead presses and incline benching should be something that helps you with your handstand push-ups. And then do handstand push-ups against the wall too. I mean, you kick up against the wall, slowly go down, and then you fall down. The floor is going to be there. It's always going to be there to catch you, so you don't have to worry about anything like that. But exercises such as getting your strength up on your overhead presses, seated military press, incline bench, that's going to help you with your handstand push-ups, okay? Good question, though, Chad. I have a question from Rahit Messi. He says, sometimes we get demotivated in the gym or just feel low in the gym. What should I do to be motivated when I work out? That's a really, really, really good question. Motivation is like our driving force in everything. I mean, even in our country today, I mean, the reason we're so advanced is because someone was motivated to push and prosper forward. When it comes to motivation, there's a couple things you can do. is first, what you're doing right now is what everyone's doing right now is they follow like-minded individuals on social media. For example, if you follow fitness people on Instagram or Facebook, that's a great way to keep motivated because you look at their posts, you see what they're doing, it inspires you to do more. Or if you're on Body Space, like I'm on Body Space, and I'm always posting on Body Space for people to stay motivated too. You follow other people like that, people who are in the same boat as you, they can inspire you and push you more. But the thing about motivation in the gym is we all have those times where we get to the gym and we just don't feel the energy to push. But you know what happens is once you do the first exercise, you finish the first exercise, your body starts to waken up. Your body starts to come alive. You start to feel good. You start to feel good about it. You know what I mean? You start to feel better about it. You start to fight through it. So even if you get to the gym and start to lift, because once you leave, you're going to feel that much more excited. You're going to feel better that you did something than stayed home and did than doing nothing. A little bit of a workout is going to be better than zero workout, even if you're unmotivated, even if you're tired, even if you're exhausted. It's always better to get in there and push a little bit because you accomplished something. If you go throughout your entire day and you're having a horrible day, nothing is going right. It's raining, your car stopped, your rent is overdue, all the crap that goes through life. When you get to the gym, you can control that aspect of your life. You can control what happens to you. You can control what happens in the weights. You can control how much you push. That part of your life should always be in control. At least you have some control. Okay, that should motivate you a little bit more to get there and do what you want to as well. Okay, and one more thing. Everyone that started this program, I'm sure you've all had a goal. You've all had a purpose. Your purpose is maybe to change your physique. Your purpose is to become a fitness model. Whatever your purpose is, never hold off on that. Always remember that. I mean, I have pictures on my phone right now. If you look at my phone, let me show you a picture right now. If you can see, right now, the background of my phone is the chiseled trainer, if you can see that. And the reason I have it there is because I want to remind myself the importance of this program, how it's going to change people's lives. So every time I look at my phone, I say, wow, this chisel program is going to change people's lives. I got to make sure that I go to the gym and I do what I can to motivate and inspire people to change. Doing things like this is going to keep you motivated. You have to always keep your inspiration where you can see it visibly. I keep it right here on my phone all the time. So whatever your purpose is, whatever your motivation is, whatever your initial driving force that got you excited about the gym, got you excited about fitness, you got to keep that in the front of your mind every single time. It should be in your front of your mirror when you wake up in the morning. You say, man, okay, the reason I'm going to the gym today is because I want to look like this. The reason I'm working out so hard is because I want to be here. The reason I'm doing cardio is because I want to win this. Okay, and you have to keep that everywhere you look. And that's going to keep you motivated and keep you inspired everywhere, every single moment of your life. All right. Good question, Ricky. Stay motivated. I'm sure you can do that. Don't ever lose motivation. If you need motivation, go to other fitness people's pages. There's tons of them out there, especially all of our other Bodybuilding.com athletes. Everyone is always so motivated and always willing to help you. So stay around with like-minded individuals, and we'll keep that motivation for you, okay? Next question. It says, when you apply, Nick is from Nick Tibbetts. He said, when you apply this program to your life and repeat every 8 weeks, do you mix up the phases, jump from phase 4 to phase 2, adjust rest days, blah, blah, blah? He wants to know, essentially, is this general structure? Okay, good question. Great question, Nick. Yeah, so like I said, this is a program that's for the rest of your life. So at the end of the 8 weeks, you go back to phase 1. And I don't generally change the phases per se, but there are moments where, for example, I want to do a phase 3 workout during a phase 1, like a phase 3 leg workout for a phase 1 cycle or something like that. It's okay to switch it up every once in a while. Just make sure your phases don't switch. Every 2 weeks you can change them pretty much. So you can start again. It's only 2 weeks, so your body changes. If you want to have the maximum growth, you can do them this way. But I know sometimes we get excited about a certain phase, we get excited about a certain workout. That's fine. You know, just make sure that you're not doing it for too long because you don't want to hurt your process. You don't want to get monotonous. You don't want to lose your motivation. Just make sure you stick with it for 2 weeks, and then you switch back to another portion of the phase, okay? All right, next question, Alvarez Hernandez. His question is, I was trying to find a comprehensive list of supplements we need to know for the video, Bodybuilding.com planning, maybe discounted painkillers at least. That's the question. I mean, there's always discounts at Bodybuilding.com. You can check it out there. But that's a good question. I mean, there's always sales at Bodybuilding.com. You can check them out there. Check out our page. Follow them. Follow RSP's page. They always have sales too, so you don't have to worry about that too much. All right. But guys, I'm gonna wrap it up now. I'm so glad everyone came on. There's tons of great questions, and I really like discussing this program. I'm so glad that so many people are enjoying it. You know, there's tons of great feedback from it. And like I said, this is a chiseled program. It's designed to help you burn fat, put on lean muscle, but also do it year-round. So at the end of the program, you can start it again and continue to see greater and greater and greater results. Fitness should always be linear. You should always be growing. You should always be adapting. You should always be getting better. And this program is designed to help you get better every single year. If you see the pictures from the chisel trainer from me from 2011 to now, it's consistent progress. It takes time. It's always fun, but it's progress. It's progress and progress. So at the end of the program, you start it again. You're gonna get better, and you're gonna get better, and you're gonna get better. And that's what we're about. That's what Bodybuilding.com is about. It's always about becoming your best self. Every day you have to become your best self. So this program is designed for you to continue to become your best self. All right. All right, guys. So that's the end of the Q&A here on Bodybuilding.com. And if you missed the Q&A here, if you have more questions, you can head over to RSP's Instagram page. I'll be doing a live Q&A over there at 4 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So thank you guys for joining me, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.